Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Tonight's Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week is presented by Stoner's Pizza, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you, Texas Border Grill, Kudzu Seafood, BT Media Productions, Bill Harden Music, Cherokee Brick and Tile, the Macon Touchdown Club, and Middle Georgia State University. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome on to the campus of First Presbyterian Day School here in North Bibb County. We're coming to you live tonight from George S. Johnson Stadium on campus here. Tonight, we've got a single-A battle to go between the 1-0 FPD Vikings under the tutelage of Coach Greg Moore and the 1-1 out of Region 4A Brookstone Cougars by their head coach Blair Harrison. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Rennie Atkinson, the Associate Athletic Director here at FPD. Rennie, great to have you with us here tonight. Brookstone comes in with 2 games under the belt. FPD last week over at the Middle Georgia Macon Touchdown Club Middle Georgia Kickoff Classic. Took on Central, won that football game. You got to see that game last week. Talk a little bit about what you saw out of this young Vikings team early in the season in that opener.
The defense played really solid all game long until right at the end when Central was able to drive the ball down. But I think the number of players that FPD has to play both ways kind of wore them down as where Central, much bigger school, they can play a lot more people. And so I think the defense kind of got worn down. The FPD offense did their share because they were able to control the ball and a really good running game. And they had some big pass plays and were inches away from breaking other pass plays.
Last night, of course, you go into an opening game, you spend a lot of times on the sideline, you never know what to expect. there's going to be mistakes in those opening ball games. I'll tell you, I'm sure Coach Harrison would feel the same way about his Cougars here tonight and what he saw. They seemed to get it together a little bit last week in a rout over Central Talbotton. They won, I believe, 57-6. But going back to FPD, Daniel Cox, your quarterback, returns this year, 9 of 15, 126 yards and a touchdown last week. Joshua Raines, though, he had tonight 22 rushes, 112 yards. He's going to be a big asset this year to keep the pressure off Daniel.
The big improvement I saw in Josh carrying the football last week is he was patient. He let his blockers set up. He didn't get impatient and try to rush through holes. He waited for the line to create the holes, and then he would find the seam and hit the hole and gain yardage. He's not going to be a guy who's going to consistently produce 40, 50, 60-yard runs. That's not his style. He's a straight-ahead guy, tackle to tackle, but he's hard to bring down.
All right, we'll set the captains here real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to Rennie. Number 6, the quarterback senior, Daniel Cox. Number 18 for the Vikings, Blaine Kaiser, also a senior. Number 71 is John Lester, a senior lineman. And number 33, and that's Ryan Jones, a senior backer for them. On the other side of the field, we have number 60 for the Cougars, and that's Jack Peak. Number 26 as well, that's Joel Brown. He is a senior. Number 62 is also there, and that's Carlos Biscoronado. And number 15, Josh Fernicola is their starter. So not that I'm a linguist and obviously butchered a couple of those, and I'm sorry for Mom and Dad if I did. Let's go to Rennie and get the starting lineup for the Vikings tonight.
Okay, first for the defense, at the star linebacker, Rob Cunningham, a junior. At defensive end, John Lester, who's a key up front. He's a big offensive and defensive lineman. He'll play in. At nose, Seth Wilson, a steady senior. At tackle is Jared Brooks, another steady senior. At the dog, outside linebacker, Blaine Kaiser. Inside linebackers are Ryan Jones, who pound for pound is as tough a football player as I've seen. At the other inside linebacker is Dylan Cox, Dalton's brother, who I think has unbelievable potential as a football player. He's just a sophomore. The two corners are Titus Moore and Blake Jones, and the free safety Robert Johnson and the strong safety Josh Raines. Over on the offensive side, Bryant Beal is at tackle, Ty Turley at guard, John Lester's the center, Jacoby Singletary is the right guard, Wesley Wilson the right tackle, Blaine Kaiser's at tight end, Maurice Gordon and Titus Moore are the wide receivers, Griffin Brown's the fullback, Josh Raines the tailback, Dalton Cox the quarterback, and you notice there are a lot of names on both sides of that football.
Yeah, and listen, and I don't care if it's a private school or public school. In single A, you got to have men that go both ways because the numbers simply aren't there. And hopefully you got some young guys late in the game that can come in and spell them, and that's what you look for. Well, the Vikings run onto the field here now, and we'll get ready for kickoff when we come back. It's the Cougars and the Vikings live from George S. Johnson Stadium on the campus of FPD. You're watching the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week live on DSBNSports.com and YouTube Live as well, and we hope you're enjoying it. If you're watching it at home or one of our restaurants in the big screens, we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll be back after this timeout and get set for kickoff.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
And we are underway from George S. Johnson Stadium, and the kick by number 32, Andre Parrish, is a pooch kick that's going to go out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it there. It went out of bounds, I think. Yeah, they're going to mark it where?
Probably bringing that to the 35.
Probably to 35, you're right. All right, Coach, what to look for here on the defensive side of FPD early in this game? Not knowing what they're going to face for the Cougars. They're going to come in here with that wing formation. But everybody's at ROP now, run option pit pass.
Yeah.
It used to be run option now, but now everybody's throwing a pass off of it.
Yeah, and basically they're trying to confuse people.
Under quarterback will be 10, Russ Blanchard. He'll have a single setbacks and a man in motion, and he is going to leave it with the tailback, and he's going to cross the 35, and that's Clark Smith. And Clark had a good game last week against Central Talbotton as he went 9 rushes for 152 yards and 3 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, and he plays a little defensive back, and he's a place kicker, too.
Nothing like being busy.
That's right. Richard Hill will be your other back for the Cougars in this game. And they're going to send out wide number 23, and that's Chris Edmonds, as the ball rests on about the 43-yard line now under center. Take, and he's going to give it to Richard Hill. Hill's going to sneak in. He's going to cross the 45 and roll on up to about the 47, maybe the 48, Coach, before they bring him down.
That's just a basic belly play out of the wing tee, but they're not really in the wing tee set. They're just running the basic wing tee offense out of a 2 and 3 back set.
It's all about trying to get the defense to play assignment football and look for the one gap that he's not going to do it. Now they'll go into almost a T set. Now they'll split them out, and they'll go into wing, send a man in motion, and the quarterback's going to put it on the ground, and FPD is going to have a man run in there and grab him, and I'm not sure who that was, Coach, number 55 maybe.
That's who it was.
Brian Bill.
That was supposed to be a fullback trap, but the quarterback bobbled the snap, and he couldn't get the ball to the fullback, who was supposed to be going behind the pulling guard. But it was a good play by the Vikings because it puts them in second and long. Wing T teams don't like second and long.
No. Russell Blanchard will go to the sideline, talk to Blair Harrison, its head coach, and he'll come out this time, and they'll set up. They set up in that tee box again, and then they'll break out, and that's just motion is all they're doing. They're going straight with a wing, and they're going to take, and they're going to hand it inside, and that's going to be Clark Smith, and Clark's going to get across midfield stripe from the 47 and go into the 47, pick up about 6 yards, maybe 5.5 to the Vikings. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to put him back on about the 48.
Good play by Josh Raines that time. He read it. Read the pulling guards. The one thing about this offense, the guards will always take you to the football, and if you're reading those guards, then you're going to get to the ball carrier.
Josh Fernicola will be on this side. They'll go a balanced line. Now they'll split the wings out again like they have in every play. Go with a man in motion. They'll try to go inside to Richard Hill, and he's going to get a little running room, but not much. He's going to poke his nose into the Vikings. Well, let's see if they'll mark him on the 45. They're going to give him right at it, Coach, before they mark him down. So this is going to bring up a 4th down and short here, and pretty decent but questionable field position on your opening drive. Do you go for it here? And they obviously are.
Yeah, I think Coach Harrison's attitude is we've got to do something special to stay in this ball game.
Joel Brown is your other wingman on this, number 26. Send a man in motion, and the Vikes are going to jump offside. And, yes, they finally caught it, and it was almost hesitant there by the line judge to call that offsides.
Yeah, the center actually bobbed his head, which I think really drew the Vikings offside more than the count did, and that technically is illegal procedure, but you hardly ever get it called. All the coaches teach both their quarterbacks and their centers to bob those heads. They generally get away with it.
Hey, you do it till they call it.
That's right.
They'll split a man out time. Pernicola this to this side this time. Blanchard to under center, splits the wings out again. Man will come in motion. He'll fake, and he's going to drop back. Got a man wide open on the 33-yard line, and that is number 23, Chris Edmonds, and he's going to roll on into the 26-yard line, and a pretty good-looking drive here to start the night for the Cougars, Coach.
That was just a base waggle play, which is the base pass play out of the wing tee, and the Vikings had a blown coverage because he was wide open in the flat. Somebody has flat responsibility.
We saw them run this when they were warming up, so we knew it was coming. And you're probably going to see it to that far side now, just on a little deeper pattern.
Yeah.
Split the wings out, take, and going to keep it, and he is going to leave it inside, and I believe he left it with Richard Hill that time. Let's see who gets up, and I believe that was Hill, yeah, and he didn't get very far that time. Might have moved it a yard to the 25-yard line, and they'll be facing second down. We'll call it 8.5. Maybe a full 9, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
That's the play they tried to run earlier when the quarterback bobbled the snap.
Right,
It's
exactly.
just a basic fullback trap.
So Greg Moore and his staff now getting a good look at this offense. They'll send a man out wide, and that's Chris Edmonds to that far side. Now they'll go with a quarterback in a split backfield. He's going to take, and he's going to leave it to Richard Hill again. Kind of not really a trap, but he's going to run off the hip of that tackle over there, and he's going to get into about the 21-yard line.
That was the belly play that they picked up 8 yards on earlier, and they ran it back to the same side. They think they found something over there in the alignment of the Vikings, but FPD played that one a lot better.
Number 56, Wesley Wilson, the big junior lineman over there. One of them, he got his paw on him. Send the man in motion. Now they'll come back inside with that little old Washington Redskin-looking play, and that'll get inside to the 18. Boy, that was a famous play they used to run there, that little crossbuck.
Right, the counter tray. The Redskins made it famous with the Hogs, and that's a staple for wing T teams.
Well, the Vikings read it pretty good, and now they've stopped them inside the 20 along the 19, but they got to get to the 16.5 to pick up a new set of downs. We're going to call it 3 even on 4th down, and Blair Harrison is going to send his Cougars offense onto the field, and they're going to go for it. So the second 4th down conversion in this drive, Coach.
They really have nothing to lose. They're down deep. Even if they don't make it, it leaves FPD with a long field.
That's right. Step inside, and he's going to be close, and I believe he's going to get it. And he's going to get to the 15.5. And, yes, sir, he's going to pick up the first down, and I believe they brought around Josh Fernicola on that play.
Right. That was a little counter play, and
almost ran the flanker across on that one.
That's right.
So 1st and 10 along the 15-yard line of the Vikings. Come the Cougars on an open possession with 5:56 to go in the first. Live from George H. Johnson Stadium. Going to leave it inside, and I believe we'll see who ran that one that time. That was Richard Hill. And as we said last week, Richard Hill himself, they had one guy go, Clark Smith, for 152 yards. Well, he added 131 himself.
And that's one of the Vikings' favorite plays, right? That was the midline option, and the tackle didn't close down. The tackle is unblocked on that play, and the quarterback's reading him. That tackle's got to squeeze down and take that dive back and make the quarterback keep the football.
Under center goes Blanchard. 2nd down on the 10-yard line, knocking on the door early in the first. Going to take, and he's going to leave it inside, and the Vikings aren't pulled that time on the dive play by Richard Hill. They'll give him 1 to the 9. That's going to bring up 3rd down. Yeah, they're going to mark it a little better than that. They're going to give him, we'll call it the 8.5. Maybe only 2 yards to go here, maybe 3. Looks like he's got to get right outside that 5-yard line, Coach.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him run the counter again or the belly play. The belly play's been good to him on this drive.
Boy, be careful with a wheel route here now.
That's true.
Somebody get asleep on that corner over there. Let's see what they do. Under center. Blanchard, man comes in motion, and they're going to leave it with him. Going to get to the 10, going to get to the 5, going to get to the 1, and a new set of downs. That time it was Clark Smith, and he came from the wing from the far side, and they got enough push up inside to get him sprung on the corner out here, Coach, and he did a good job of stepping back into his wide side containment.
Really good block by the pulling guard on that play. That's a little buck sweep, which again is just they're just running their base offense, and FPD's just got to step up and make plays.
Well, now they knock on the door at 1st and goal. We are live from George H. Johnson Stadium. Hope you're enjoying the game here with us tonight. They're going to give it to Richard Hill, and Richard Hill's going to get in from the 1, and it's going to be the first score of the night. And the Cougars have driven it 65 yards on that play and capped it off with a run by Richard Hill for a 1-yard touchdown, and they look pretty good doing it, Coach.
Yeah, and they controlled the ball for almost 8 minutes. FPD can't let them just hold the ball and grind and grind and grind. They're going to have to step up and make some plays.
So at the 4:04 minute mark, Clark Smith will step in out of Blanchard's hold for the extra point. Snap is high. They get it down. Kick is up. Kick is no good. Missed it wide left. So a break there for the Vikings. We have 4:04 to go into first period of play. We'll take a quick timeout. Your score, the Cougars 6, the Vikings nothing. We'll be back with FPD getting the ball.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
And welcome back to George H. Johnson Stadium. I want to say hello to those of you that are watching the game tonight at Texas Border Grill as well as Stoner's Pizza. We welcome you into our live broadcast. You can catch our games every week right there on Friday night inside the restaurant at the stadium. And Clark Smith will be set to kick it off. And deep for the Trojans will be number 1, Titus Moore. And it's going to go to Moore, and he's going to field it along the 6-yard line. Get across the 15, going to get pursued, and he's going to get radically thrown down on good coverage, and that's Trey Lingo. That's a football name there. right along. Let's see where they'll mark him along the 18-yard line, Coach.
That was a really good kick. Apparently, the Vikings expected a shorter kick, and he got a lot of separation in between the returners and the blockers. And they just kind of left Titus in no man's land.
So Dalton Cox, the senior, comes on the field. In the backfield will be Josh Raines, and they'll go with Griffin Brown. And now they'll switch it and go to a shotgun. Send a man out that time, and that's going to be Blaine Kaiser, number 18, take, and he's going to leave it inside with Josh Raines.
It's going to be Titus.
Oh, that was Titus. That's right. That was Titus Moore, number 1. On the carry. Coach, you come out tonight and you look at Greg's offense. I know every coach wants to ground control it, but he may spread it out a little bit early in this game.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to try to get the ball into Titus's hand. Titus is a game breaker, and he needs to get him the ball.
He's got 2 of them on this side. One of them's Titus Moore. The inside man will be Maurice Gibson. And this time he's going to go to Joshua Raines, and he's got room to run. He's going to get across the 30, going to get across the 31, roll into the 32 before he is brought down that time by number 23, and that's Chris Edmonds for the Cougars. And that's a good run.
That was a really good run and a really good blocking by the offensive line. They closed everybody down. Looks like Brookstone's got an injured player.
Yeah, we got a man down on the field. I'll tell you what, while they take a look at him, we'll step away for a timeout. You're listening to the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on DSBN Sports. We'll be back.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
And that was Ethan Martin that was taken off the field for the Cougars, and a little bit of a limp. I'm not sure it was too serious. Let's certainly hope it was not, but he was kind of ginger getting off the field there, Coach.
Yeah, and he's a senior defensive lineman. You don't like to lose your seniors.
No, sir. Not on the road on a Friday night. So they'll bring it up, and they'll go wide out this time. Maurice Gordon, they'll go trips to that side. Man to this near side will be Jones. Dalton Cox going to roll, got time, going to look, boom, got his man right along. Titus Moore to the 49-yard line, and he'll be dropped right there by number 15, was one of them in on the tackle for the Cougars, and that was Josh Fernicola.
Really good job by Dalton that time because one of the offensive linemen let his man go, and Dalton was able to prolong the play long enough by rolling to get the ball to Titus.
Yeah, and he dropped it over that middle outside linebacker over there too. Actually getting away like that may have given him time to get that man out of position. Send a man in motion this time. They'll give it underneath, and they'll go to number 3, and that's Harrison Alls. And Alls had a good week last week. He had 2 receptions for 43 yards. He comes in and runs it now. And number 3 picks up good yardage, and he's picked up 9 on the play, and he's going to be close to a first down. We'll call it 2nd and 1.
Harrison's a very talented younger player, too. He's just a sophomore. And by running him on that play, it keeps the defense off balance so they can't concentrate on Maurice and Titus.
While peeking in the backfield for Joshua Raines at the same time. Under center this time. Tate going to toss sweep to Raines. Raines is going to step in. 40, 45. Get big yards. He's going to roll on. He's going to pick up 9 big yards, make it 8. Goes to the 32-yard line and a new set of downs for the Vikings.
And that's what I talked about with Josh earlier. He was patient that time. He let his linemen set their blocks, and he knew exactly when to take the seam. That was a really nice run from a fundamental standpoint.
So the Vikings trying to answer here with a drive themselves. Gordon will go to the far side. Titus Moore to this side. In the eye, Josh Raines will dot it. Cox under center. Go to Joshua Raines. Steps in 30. Rolls into the 23-yard line. And he's going to be close to another first down. And he's going to have another first down, I believe, when they mark it here.
A lot of credit has to go to the offensive line because that was a huge hole.
Absolutely. Number 5, Robert Johnson checks in. And let's see, we got a flag? No, they're going to measure. Coach, early in this season, looking around this single A landscape, what do you see out there upcoming down the road in this region this year?
In the region in our sub-region, it's the same story. It's Titanal, Stratford, FPD, I think. Twiggs, losing Ashley Harden as the head coach really hurt Twiggs.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Ashley is in Macon now at Northeast High School and went on the road last week and got a huge win against Lamar County that has been a thorn in that program's side over at Northeast for years. They have literally lost some heartbreakers over there.
And actually turned around that Twiggs County program.
Now, Dexter Copeland might argue with you a little bit. All right, stick it out here, and they'll go to the Titus Moore. He's got room to run. He's going to reach into the corner of the end zone. No, they're going to call him down on the 2-yard line. And Titus, I looked over there, and I thought he was a little slow getting up.
For those who don't know, Titus is a great hurdler in track. He won the state championship as a sophomore. And then he got hurt this past year and only ran in the qualifier and the state and still only finished second in the state.
Wow. Gordon to one side, Moore to the other. Joshua Raines dots the I. Go to Raines, step in. Can he get in? And yes, he is in. So the Vikings answer on the drive on a great drive of their own. After the kickoff, they took that one. They started on their own 18-yard line. So that's an 82-yard drive for the Vikings, and they put it in on a 1-yard plunge by Joshua Raines.
And that's huge because Brookstone had that ball position, touchdown, and then the Vikings were able to come back and answer.
That's exactly right. It's a psychological thing for your club. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Vikings take the lead, 7-6. You're listening to the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on ESPNSports.com. We'll be back after this timeout.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
Welcome back on our opening broadcast on a football Friday night. Saying hello to the folks at Texas Border Grill and Stoner's Pizza as y'all will look in on our high school presentation tonight. Russell Deese, along with longtime coach and assistant AD here at FPD, Rennie Atkinson. And Rennie, good way to start your opening drive for the Vikings as well as they do a little pooch kick. And that one worked almost pretty well as he dropped it on the ground, and number 44 was able to hold on to it for the Cougars, Trey Lingo. And so they answer the drive.
They answer the drive, and that gives you a boost. And now you got to try to get your defense fired up, and they got to make a play. When it gets down to 3rd and 2, you got to step up and make a play.
You talk about quick. This quarter's gone. We got 61 seconds left in it.
And if Brookstone does what they did the last time, that'll be 2 plays.
Vernicola will be the tight end here. They'll go Brown, and they'll take it inside. And I believe that was Richard Keel on the carry. And he'll go from the 33.5 and get to the 36. We'll give him 3 yards and call it 2nd and 7.
Again, that's just the belly. They like that play. And the problem, you can't do a lot of adjusting because Brookstone would love for you to start stunting because that's when they gas you. So you guys just got to step up and make a play.
And they'll send Joel Brown in motion, and they'll give it to Joel Brown, and a man's going to make a tackle out there on the play, and I believe that was number 6. Was that Dalton Cox?
No, I think that was Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson, I'm sorry. It was number 5, Robert Johnson.
Well, they've been hitting up the middle, hitting up the middle, and then they came back with the jet sweep. 2 plays into the quarter.
So that is going to end the quarter, and we'll take a timeout with them. Timeout on the field. It's the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week. It's high school football on a Friday night as we kick it off from the campus of FPD. We've got a good one. Vikings 7, Cougars 6. We'll be back and get the second quarter under the way after this.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
So a huge third down play here coming for the Cougars along the 38-yard line. Got to get to the 43.5, maybe the 44. Quarterback's going to take, and he's going to leave it, and he's going to give it on that little end around to Clark Smith, and he's going to be close to the first downs. And, Rennie, we said this was a big third down for the FPD defense, and they let him pick up about 6 big yards and get a new set of downs.
Yeah, and it was just a basic jet sweep, but somebody's got to step across and make a play, and they're just not doing it. They're playing kind of tentative.
So they'll bring it up to the line with a new set of downs along the 45-yard line. Smith, Brown, and Hill will be in the backfield behind Russell Blanchard. Blanchard's going to drop, going to roll to his right. Going to tuck it and run. And the Vikings are going to knock him out over there right along the 48-yard line. And it looked like, let's see who that was on the tackle. I think that was number 21 was one of the guys in there. Brookstone, and that's Rob Cunningham, a junior.
Kind of puzzling. They've been moving the ball on the ground, coming out with a pass play.
And, I don't know, it almost looked like a design run, but why go to the short side of the field with not your quickest back?
I know.
Send the man in motion. They'll leave it with a fullback this time, and Hill's got room to run, and he's going to get across the 40. He's going to get inside the 36, and he's going to get to the Vikings' 35-yard line, and that is a big, big run as he'll go from his own 47, and he's going to pick up 18 big yards and a new set of downs. And this is 2 drives in a row that they've got the running game going against the Vikings defense.
Yeah, they're kind of gashing them this time, though. Last time it was more like 4, 5, 3, 4. Now they're making some long runs, and the Vikings got to tighten it up here.
So ball along the 35-yard line. Blanchard will get his play in from Coach Harrison and his sidelines. 11:09 to go here in the half. 7-6 ball game. Glad to have you with us here. Opening night of our football broadcast for 2017. Take, and he's going to leave it inside with Hill again. And the Vikings are going to get in there and step it up in a hurry. And one of the first men in there was number 67 and number 55. And number 55 is Brandon Beal. And number 67 was Seth Wilson.
Self solid at the nose. He's solid at the nose. He's kind of short and chunky, but he's incredibly strong. And he's got great feet. He's quick. If he was a little bit bigger, he might be able to play some at the next level. He's got a great attitude.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me in spirit there. You talk about the little kid over at Tatnall last year, Ahmad Barron.
Yeah.
Takes outside, and they're going to give it to Joel Brown on that jet sweep from that wing formation. And he's going to pick up big chunks of yardage and get another first down. He's going to step out along the 18-yard line now.
They're not getting any help, any leverage at all out of the corners. The defensive end can't make the play on a jet sweep. That corner and the safety have got to make that play.
Adjustments got to come here, Coach, because the Cougars have not thrown it, nor have they shown an inclination to throw it. And let's see if FPD doesn't start to cheat up a little bit on these corners. Take, and Blanchard's going to have a busted play, and we're going to have motion that time. I think we had 2 guys move at the same time.
Yeah, the fullback got a little antsy and started to move forward.
So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and they'll move him back from the 20 to the 25.
A lot of things you can get away with, but when it's right there in front of the white hats, you're not going to get away with that one too often.
Now, that one's kind of easy to call. We'll look for scores at halftime for you. Some other games going on around in the single A region. We'll reach out to some of the others, too. We'll see what some of the local area schools are doing, both public and private. It's all GHSA. Take, and they're going to give it inside, and we're going to get a holding, I believe. But Richard Hill's got a huge run all the way inside the Vikings 4-yard line, and we've got to have a hold, and I think that's what we're going to get a call here, and the Cougars are going to regret this one.
Yeah, because that's going to be if you add in what he gained to what they're going to lose, you're talking about a 35-yard penalty.
Yep. Ball rests on the 24. And they're going to get a hold. Ball ended up, he run it all the way down inside the 5-yard line. And, well, I still haven't seen the signal. We probably know what it is here. It's going to be probably a hold.
They're trying to figure out where to mark the penalty off from. Holding is a spot foul, so.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, no.
Oh, chop block.
Paul Johnson.
Watch out now. My buddy Terry Hartman's in listening tonight now. I used to love that down there where Irk was, baby.
Well, we ran the flex bone for a while here, and it's a key ingredient to the flex bone.
Well, as long as the guy is engaged up top, it's supposed to be a key engagement.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Coach. What are you saying? What were you teaching over here?
You don't always know whether that guy's engaged or not.
That's right.
You just know you're supposed to block him.
That's right. It's hard to look up when you're looking down at his below his knees. Roll out Blanchard this time is going to throw for one of the few times. He's got a man down there inside the 25 to the 22, and they're going to pick up most of that 10 yards back that they lost. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down, and we're going to call it about 12. Actually picked up about 15 there, Coach, maybe 16.
Yeah, there's the waggle play, and he hit the corner route. I think it's his 2nd down, but because they got the down over on the hold.
They've only thrown it a couple of times, but they've been successful at it, and nothing fancy. They're not trying to do anything too deep or too fancy over the middle. They're getting in position. Take, and he's going to leave it inside with the fullback, and the Vikings this time are going to say, no, sir. Actually left. Yeah, that was Richard Hill who left it with. That belly play didn't go too far that time as the nose tackle set the anchor and got some help.
Yeah, sure did. And linebackers read their guards and stepped in, made their scrapes correctly, got in the correct gap. This is huge right here.
Another big 3rd down for both the Brookstone Cougars, trailing by 1, and this Viking defense, as Rennie has said.
If it's me, I got to go back to the jet sweep. It's been mighty good to them.
And they don't. Blanchard's going to roll, stand up, and he's going to throw a long pass down in the end zone, and just kind of ran a little streak route that time toward the end zone, and he had a man out there, Chris Edwards, but just couldn't. That's a touch pass, really, and if you don't do it a lot, it's very difficult to complete it.
You're right. And it's timing, knowing when that receiver is going to get to his spot. And I think the Vikings kind of threw it off because they had a little bit of pressure. And the quarterback ended up on the ground right after he threw the football.
They had pressure coming off this right corner on this side. And Brookstone is going to take a timeout here on a 4th down. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout and join them. We'll be back after these messages.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
So we come down back to George S. Johnson Stadium here at Austin Childers Field. Russell Deese, Rennie Atkins with us as we get ready for a huge 4th down here, Coach. What you call?
Well, they're kind of spreading out. They're going with trips over here. They haven't used that before, and they're going with a gun.
Take and look, Blanchard. Blanchard's going to look, got time. Throws in the flat, got a man to the 20, to the 15. He's down inside the 14, but it's not going to be enough for a new set of downs. But that's almost as good as a pooch punt, and you might have broken it away.
That's true.
So they executed it pretty well, just couldn't get quite enough on the 4th down. But now they've got FPD down in deep territory along the 13-yard line.
And the Vikings need to answer with a drive. They need to go if they go put the ball in the end zone, it puts a little more pressure on Brookstone to open up their offense, and I don't think that's Brookstone's strong point.
No, I agree. I think this is a team that likes ball control, and they like that old pat die kind of 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and I lean on you in the 4th quarter. So the Vikings will go in a shotgun with Dalton Cox. And they'll have wides and send a man in motion. Now they'll flip it underneath, and that is going to be Harrison Alls. And he had one good run tonight and good defensive play on the outside corner over there by the Cougars. They stayed at home and did their assignments, and he'll pick up about 1 or 2.
That was a nice play by their defense. They just kept stringing it out. Harrison, a little bit inexperienced, and probably should have just turned it up and get whatever you can get and live with it.
Number 62, their senior Carlos Vizcarrondo on the tackle, and one of their captains tonight as well. So the Vikings will send out wide to this side, Titus Moore. They'll go slot to this side this time. Stay in an eye with a man under center. Second man through is going to be Joshua Raines, and the Cougars are going to shut it down, and all of a sudden the Vikings are looking at a 3rd and 9 inside their 15, and the Cougars are thinking about flipping the field position themselves this time.
That's true, and that was a blown blocking assignment. Brookstone had a defensive end that was totally untouched, and I know that that's not right, not for that little counter play.
So a 3rd down and 9 coming. As I said, we'll start looking for some other scores here at halftime. This time Cox is going to be in a shotgun. It looks like he may come up and change his play. Got 2 men in a split backfield to protect him. He's going to throw it over the middle. And incomplete, and I think there should have been a flag there, but they may call it incidental contact. And let's see, do we have a flag? We do not. And Coach Moore is not happy about that. And it almost looked, from an angle, like maybe Rennie, their feet got tied up, but I think just, looking at it, you could have gone either way.
Yeah, that probably was not that bad of a call. I couldn't tell. Didn't look like a real well-thrown football.
Now a little bit behind him, and he had to lean back and kind of twist his body back. So now the Cougars will send a man deep back, and that is going to be, I believe, going to be number 26 or 23, 26 back there. And he's going to let it bounce, and that was number 23 back for the Cougars, and that is Chris Edwards. And they're going to get the ball right along midfield. So that's a good defensive job by the Cougars that time, Coach.
That was a real good defensive job, but it was also a good punt. And you get a 36-yard punt with no return, you'll take that every time.
That's right. It's just a field position matter now for the Cougars. And we got 6:14. I'm not sure what timeout unless it's a hydration timeout. And they may be doing that, or maybe we had a timeout one of the teams. We're going to keep it right here either way. Let me see if we can get thought I might have an update here, and if I do, I'll let you know. Do have an update over at Stratford at the Eagles' Nest. The Eagles lead at 28-0 with 9 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah.
Kind of what we expected over there tonight.
That is. Landmark, very inexperienced. I think they're starting 5 freshmen tonight. And,
wow.
And you can't do that in high-level football.
No, sir.
Don't want to take anything away from Stratford, though. They have a good football team.
Yeah, they're going to have a – it's going to be fun when we get back into the trifecta, as we always do. So under center, this time they'll go to number 2, and that's Clark Smith, and the Vikings are going to read it, and they're going to hammer him down over there for a loss. And I believe that was number 20 on the tackle. Was that Blake Jones, Coach? Or yeah, Blake Jones over there.
It looks like maybe FPD starting to catch up with the speed of the game. The problem with the wing tee is you can't, in practice, duplicate the plays with speed.
Right.
And so your defense doesn't get to see the speed until they've played half a football against it.
And then you get to make then it starts to come to you, or you want it to come to you if you're on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Take, and he's going to look, and Blanchard's going to throw, and he's just going to throw it high out there. He was trying to go to number 15 that time, and that was Josh Fernicola, and get coverage back there that time of the corner, and that was Harrison Alls.
I don't understand getting away from the jet sweep. The jet sweep has been really good to them, and
kind of stay with what brung you.
That's right. That's right.
Well, are you run it until you stop it, and then I'll make a decision at that point?
Because if you stopped it, you adjusted, and then I'll adjust what I called according to what you adjusted to.
They'll bring number 23, and that's Chris Edmonds out to this side. Blanchard this time going to take, and he's going to hand it back inside, and that's a great little counter play, and he's going to get outside, and Clark Smith is off to the races, and he's going to be down inside the 20-yard line. Let's see where he finally stepped out, and they're going to give him along the 18. And Rennie, they're listening to you on the headsets over there.
The counter play is the wing tees version of the draw.
Right.
And third and long, you're rushing upfield, and you pull that tackle around and kick out and let that little back get up through there, and then he made a nice run.
It was a nice run, and he hit the hole quick. But as you said, the tackle squares, and it traps him on the backside, and he gets back and cuts in between him.
Yeah.
So Blanchard under center. Take, I'm going to leave it with Hill. Hill's going to get inside the 15, maybe the 14 before they knock him down. We'll give him 4 yards on the play. Call it second down and a long 6 as he's going to be just inside that 15. All right, Bo, you back moment here for the Vikings defense. They've held a 7-6 lead now for going on, about 12 minutes, and they need to get a big set of downs coming up on this drive.
That's right. The problem is that big play really deflates you. You got to find some way to get yourself back up.
Now they'll take, and they're going to leave it with the tailback, and Richard Hill's going to step in, and he is going to have a 14-yard touchdown run, and that was just quick and one step, and he was off to the races, Coach.
Very good blocking by the Brookstone front. They're not real big, but you don't want real big in the wing tee. They're real quick, and they're staying with their blocks, and it looks like they're going to go for – no, he's going to kick it. I'm kind of surprised. I believe I would go ahead and go for 2.
Try to get you uneven 7 back. So Clark Smith, snap, touch, kick is up. He missed the first one. Is he going to miss another one? It's good. So it's up and good. And just like that, the Cougars have driven it 51 yards, and they now have a lead of 13-7. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. You're listening to the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on DSBN Sports. We'll return after this timeout.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
And welcome back to George S. Johnson Stadium. Glad to have you with us on a football Friday night, as the Cougars have just driven it 51 yards, and for his second touchdown of the night from 15 yards out, Richard Hill finds pay dirt Extra point is good, and the Cougars are back in the lead by a score of 13-7. Line drive kick, and this is going to go over the running back's head. Return man, he's going to pick it up along the 5. Going to come to the 15. Got room outside to the 20. Got a huge block on the corner, and they're going to call that one back. Somebody got cleaned up right there on that far hash mark.
Yeah.
And it's going to mark it about the 20. Coach, we were talking about this offense when you're running this wing T or this wing option. You know, you don't necessarily have to have the biggest guy. And this has always been my thing with Paul Johnson that's given him success at his level, is that all I got to do is move you for a second, or 2 seconds, maybe 3. Just give me 2 seconds. I don't have to overpower you. I'll never forget I had a guy tell me one night, he had a guy that played a team on high school, and this guy was all everything, and the guy across from him weighed about 150 pounds, and he was 220. He said, before it was over, I looked up, and the game was over. I didn't have a grass stain on my uniform anywhere, and this 140-pound guy beat me all night, and I never saw him do it.
Yeah. Wing T is a lot like the flex bone in this, all about angles.
Dalton Cox in the shotgun now with 4 minutes to go here in the second period. Cox going to look. He's going to throw it out here to Titus Moore. He's going to bring it in on the 20, 25. Going to roll out to the 28, maybe 26-yard line. And he's a little slow to get up. We don't need Titus to twist anything going out of bounds over there. But that's enough for a new set of downs, and the Vikings will have it along the 27.
FPD's got plenty of time to march it down and score. They just got to be methodical, take what the defense is giving you, and really they need to get their athletes one-on-one with Brookstone's athletes.
I'm looking at mismatches on this field right now, and they need to take advantage of that. And going to live it this time with Joshua Raines, and he's not going to get very far. He's going to get to the 30, maybe pick up 3, and it's going to bring up a second down and 7, but we're getting close at 3:25 in this period.
But FPD have the ability to strike fast, but they've got to just take what the defense gives you and get the ball to their athletes.
And Dalton Cox has got time. Going to flip it out there, and he finds a big man, and that is going to be Maurice Gordon. And Gordon's got room to run, cuts back inside the 45, falls into the 46 before he is brought down that time by number 15 for the Cougars, who is Jasper Nicola, and I believe that was also 62, Carlos Vizcoronado in on the tackle.
And Maurice is one of those guys we got to get the ball to. Maurice is a big target. He's 6'5", and he's a mismatch for everybody.
Russell Deese and Rennie Atkinson here with you live from the stadium. Our opening broadcast of the 2017 season. Dalton Cox got time, flips it out there, got a man, and he's wide open, and it's Titus Moore. Step inside the 30, step inside the 25. He left a couple of Cougars on the ground. He'll fall into the 20 and on into the 19. And there on the last 3 plays, Coach, was a good example of some of those mismatches that where we were waiting for them to take advantage of.
Yeah, and give credit to the offensive line. Dalton's had plenty of time to throw. That was not his primary receiver. That was his check down receiver on that play.
Harrison Alls decide in the slot. Gordon will come out here wide. Dalton Cox will come up and change his play and stay in the shotgun formation. Let's see if he runs a trap. No, he doesn't. He takes and looks and throws out on the flat. Got a man 20, 15, 10, and a good read as he falls into the make it the 4.5-yard line. And we got a man down, and that was a runner on the play. And that was number 18, and that was Blaine Kaiser. And Blaine's getting up holding that shoulder, Coach, and that doesn't look too well there.
That's never good whenever the arm's dangling.
Yes. Something ain't right, as they say. Player runs out of bounds on a good – he's going to be, let's see.
Was there a penalty?
There is a flag down here inside the 9-yard line.
It very well may be a horse collar tackle. And Kaiser being hurt is the reason that the horse collar tackle is illegal. But I don't know that that's what it is.
And, usually with that horse tackle, though, they're waving it off. There is no flag. What I've always worried about the horse tackle, number one, it's from the backside, and you and I went through it because there wasn't no penalty such as that. But I always worried about the backside angle on the back of the legs.
Yeah.
Because you get the whole extremity that can be injured there, from a knee to a hip to an ankle to a leg. So Dalton comes up, and he'll go under center this time on a first down and an 8. Take, gives it inside to Joshua Raines, and he's going to get inside the 6-yard line, go to the 5.
Another patient run by Josh. He lets his linemen make their blocks. That was a counter trap, and then he just kind of picks his way through, and he is really hard to bring down when he runs the football.
Titus Moore checks in to one side, Gordon to the other. Raines will dot it, see if they feed it to him again. They'll toss, sweep. They'll go to a little student body left out there, and he'll go inside. And there's a flag come in, and that might be a hold right there as he got it to the 3. May have got it inside the 3 to about the 2.
I think the hold was on Jacoby Singletary. Jacoby looked guilty when he got through the flag.
Yeah.
His body language was saying,
"Uh-oh,
I did it."
They're going to see that on film.
That's right.
Well, usually when you see that guy streaking by the lineman and he misses the tackle, somebody's probably pulling on him from behind.
Yeah.
Because he looks like he has the angle, and then all of a sudden the angle disappears. So they'll move it back to the 14-yard line. That's costly because that would have had them 2nd and goal from the 4.
That's true.
So now it's 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line for the Vikings, trailing by 6 with 91 seconds to go here in this half. Russell Deese and Rennie Atkinson live from FPD tonight on the campus here in northern Bibb County. Dalton Cox in a shotgun. Gonna look, got time, gonna float it out here, and yes, sir.
What a route.
Yep. Maurice Gordon, there was no covering him on that one. And he hauls it in, and it's a 14-yard touchdown pass from Dalton Cox to Maurice Gordon.
He started out on that post, and the corner bit right on it, and he planted his foot and headed to the corner of the end zone, and the corner was still looking for him on the post.
Yes, he was, and Gordon hauled it in, and he caught it perfect. There's an old wide receiver. When you're catching it with your hands, that's a sight to see.
That's right. Maurice is a really good receiver. He's got some possibilities on the next level.
He's certainly got the size and the range. And the snap's going to go over the holder's head, and all of a sudden, instead of FPD taking the lead on a high snap, and extra point is no good. And instead of going into maybe at halftime with a 1-point lead, we're all knotted up at 13.
But the important thing is they answered, and if they can keep them out of the end zone here, I think Greg's got all his timeouts. He'll probably judge by first down as to whether he starts using them or not.
Right.
And they know, or they think right now, that the worst that they can go in is tied. So they're in pretty good shape, and FPD gets the ball to start the second half.
I think they're going to make some big adjustments on pitching that outside line and bringing those guys up in tighter, because I think Blanchard's going to really have to work at throwing the ball deep downfield on them tonight. So the Vikings are going to kick it off, tied at 13. And number 36, number 32, Andre Parrish will do the honors. One of your deep men will be Chris Edmonds, and the other may be Clark Smith, and it is. Edmonds does not get it. Doesn't hear his man. And number 15 was back there, Josh Fernicola, on the fair catch. And a good kick, non-returnable kick. You put it down inside the 24-yard line. I know everybody wants you to sometimes kick it out of the end zone, but it doesn't hurt to have kicks like that.
No, it does not. And it served them well last week against Central because it did not let Central get a big return on them.
So a good tactical kick that time by the coaching staff and executed well by Parrish. And now the Cougars will come out with 1:08 to go in this half in a tie ball game here at FPD. Blanchard's going to leave it with Hill. He's going to step in, get to the 25-yard line. Let's see what Coach Moore decides to do here. Will he let this clock run? And he does, down to the 56 mark. And I think he's going to keep those timeouts in his pocket, Coach, unless something big happens here.
I think he's thinking we got kind of like a tennis match, and he knows he gets the ball to start the second half.
41 seconds now. Blanchard will go in a shotgun. He'll go trips to the right side. He'll stop and look. He'll roll that way. Look, going to throw deep, and he's looking for a man, and he had a man wide open, and the quarterback really underthrew it. If he had put some more arm, that might have been 6.
Defensive back made a critical error that you see a lot. He quit running with the receiver. And when he did, the receiver is open behind, and that ball almost got through. They got to keep running with the receiver. You don't give up on your receiver.
I know that when the secondary coach down there just looked up and saw that guy running, he went, oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no. But Blanchard was unable to get it to him and threw it short, and really lucky it wasn't intercepted. And so, wait a minute. We got a timeout here, and who's going to call it? And the Cougars are going to call a timeout with 27 seconds left. We'll take one more timeout for the break and come back and finish up this first half. It's the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on DSBN Sports. We'll be back.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
Welcome back. George S. Johnson, 27 seconds to go on this. A 3rd down and 9 for the Cougars in a knotted up ball game at 13 apiece. Ball along the 25-yard line. Let's see what they opt to do here. And they're going to run the sweep that time, and that's going to go to number 2, Clark Smith, and he's going to have room to run, and he's going to have a first down, and it gets all the way out to the 40-yard line. And that's a 15-yard pickup, Coach, and that should take us close to the half unless they get one more shot here. So Blanchard will bring them up to the line. They go one wide out to that far side. They'll move their wings up. He'll stay under center. Going to look. Got straight back. Got pressure by FPD. Now he's going to look and just going to throw it out of bounds over on the sideline, and we're going to get a flag for intentional grounding. Yeah, there's no outside the pocket rule, so.
It is intentional grounding.
Yeah. So a costly mistake. Maybe not. I mean, there's 2 seconds to go, but you don't want anything stupid to happen right before the end of the half there. Just throw it down the field. If you can't get it to a guy, don't get it to a guy.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that call if the ball goes past the line of scrimmage down that sideline and looks like an errant pass.
I know.
If you're going to throw it directly out of bounds and just above the line of scrimmage, he's going to stand back there. That back judge isn't going to say, I'm throwing that flag.
My first year here, we had a quarterback named Colby Maddox, and Colby was a master at throwing the ball away and making it look like a legal pass.
Just missed him. Just missed him on that one. So with 2 seconds to go, you would imagine on this second down play. They'll touch a knee, and that'll run out of the clock. That'll do it for the first half from Austin Childers Field at George S. Johnson Stadium. Russell Deese and Rennie Atkinson with you here. That's the end of the second period. We go to halftime. Your score, FPD 13, the Brookstone Cougars 13. We're going to take a break, pay some bills. We'll see you back here shortly.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em.
I've always wanted this. You have too. It's waiting to be unleashed.
It's in all of us. You just have to find it. Greatness. It's where your dreams and passions become a reality.
Greatness is where your hard work and dedication pay off.
Greatness. It's shaking hands with your future. Middle Georgia State University. Find your greatness.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em.
I've always wanted this. You have too.
It's waiting to be unleashed.
It's in all of us. You just have to find it. Greatness. It's where your dreams and passions become reality.
Greatness is where your hard work and dedication pay off.
Greatness. It's shaking hands with your future. Middle Georgia State University. Find your greatness.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, the car lot for you. Remember, folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em.
I've always wanted this. You have too.
It's waiting to be unleashed.
It's in all of us. You just have to find it. Greatness. It's where your dreams and passions become a reality.
Greatness is where your hard work and dedication pay off.
Greatness. It's shaking hands with your future. Middle Georgia State University. Find your greatness.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, the car lot for you. Remember, folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em.
I've always wanted this. You have too.
It's waiting to be unleashed.
It's in all of us. You just have to find it. Greatness. It's where your dreams and passions become a reality.
Greatness is where your hard work and dedication pay off.
Greatness. It's shaking hands with your future. Middle Georgia State University. Find your greatness.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, "Oh my, what a pizza pie!" Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em.
I've always wanted this. You have too.
It's waiting to be unleashed.
It's in all of us. You just have to find it. Greatness. It's where your dreams and passions become reality.
Greatness is where your hard work and dedication pay off.
Greatness. It's shaking hands with your future. Middle Georgia State University. Find your greatness.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, "Oh my, what a pizza pie!" Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em. And welcome back to George S. Johnson Stadium here on the campus of First Presbyterian Day School. Russell Deese, glad to have you with us on this Stoner's Pizza Football Friday night. I'm joined in the booth tonight by the Associate Athletic Director here at the First Presbyterian Day School, Rennie Atkinson. Randy, let's go back and look at that first half, and let's quickly recap the scoring for you, and then we'll get some insights on it. With 4:04 to go in the first, it was the Brookstone Cougars that got on the board first, a 65-yard drive, and it was capped by a 1-yard run by Richard Hill, but the extra point was missed and no good, and the Cougars led it 6-0. FPD got the ball back with 4:04 to go in that quarter, and they drove it the length of the field in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. It was an 82-yard drive, and it was topped by a 1-yard run by Joshua Raines. The extra point was good, and just like that, the Vikings led by a score of 7-6. We go to the second period, and with 4:13 to go in that half, Richard Hill goes in for his second touchdown of the night. It was a 51-yard drive. He capped it with a 15-yard run. Extra point was up and good, and Brookstone led it 13-7. So in the waning seconds, with a minute and 10 seconds to go in that half, the Vikings answered back. It was a good drive, and it was a 14-yard pass from Cox to Gordon, and the extra point snap went over the placeholder's head, and we went to the half tied at 13 apiece. Rennie, come in and give me your thoughts about what you've seen, first of all, from the Brookstone Cougars here in this first half of play.
Very methodical, well executed. They're not fancy. They run basic wing T stuff, and FPD has shown no indication that they're able to stop it.
Yeah, both of these offenses have had sustained drives tonight. Not a lot of big plays. It's been methodical on both sides. Talk a little bit about what you saw out of FPD. First of all, let's talk offensively, and then I want to touch back defensively on what they got to do here.
FPD has run the ball well. They've thrown the ball well. They've done a good job. They had one series down there where they were pinned up, where they didn't get a good play on first down, and it put them behind the chains, and they didn't recover real well. But other than that, just like FPD has shown no indication that they can stop Brookstone, Brookstone really has shown no indication that they can stop FPD.
Yeah, and both of these teams have managed, although somewhat differently, to eat up some clock, and they have both shortened this game. And if you're the coaches, if you're Greg Moore and you're coming in against a wing T team, you want to get them in and out quick. On the other side, Coach Harrison, he wants it like that. He wants it long and methodical. Even if I don't score, even if I don't get a first down, it's kind of like throwing 9 pitches to a batter. Yeah. You're going to make them work for it, and that's what he wants to do. And I think that's what Greg wants to do. Now, second half, what does FPD got to come out here as far as adjustments? On one side first, let's talk defensively. What do they got to do?
They've got to get more run support out of their corners. The counter, the jet sweep are really hurting them, and that's got to be run support out of the secondary. You know, that's asking too much out of the defensive ends to make those plays. And then the linebackers showed a little bit late in the first half that they could stop the stuff up the middle. But they're still getting hurt out on the flanks.
Not that he did any damage to himself, but what do you think Greg's going to do here in the second half offensively?
Offensively, he's going to keep getting the ball to those athletes. He knows his athletes, at least in my opinion, are better than Brookstone's athletes.
Yes.
And he's going to try to isolate those guys, and he's going to keep pounding Josh up the middle. Josh Raines has done a good job running the football, and then he's going to go out to those big play receivers.
Yeah, he's going to have to, as we saw, I think, a little more out to Titus Moore and to Maurice Gordon. We saw a little bit of that on that last touchdown. It was a mismatch down here. Made a good move on the inside on the post and went out in the flat. Defensive back turned around. I think he could do more of that, and maybe that's what we'll see from him in the second half as we get ready for kickoff. We'll give you, let's see, right now at the half, locally Howard is behind the Central 22-14, and we are underway for the second half here. And it's a short kickoff, and they got a good return coming back for FPD as they get the ball second, and we missed the ball returner there. Let's see.
That's Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson on the return, and it is a good return out to, let's see, they're going to mark it about the 39-yard line. So Dalton Cox and company are going to set up an excellent field position to start this second half.
And that's the best return they've had. This is the best field position they've had off the kickoff. Really good job by Robert. He actually outran some of his blockers.
So FPD will come out, and they'll go wide out with Titus Moore to this side. They'll have a man in the slot, and that's going to be Maurice Gordon. They'll stay in an eye, and Cox will go under center. Tate going to fake it to Josh Raines and roll to this near side. Going to look. Got a man over the middle. Got him along the 45-40. Cuts back inside the 35 on into the 32-yard line of the Cougars. And on the reception that time was number 18, and that's Blaine Jones.
Good to see Blaine back out there. He got hurt on that little waggle play, and so it's good to see him back out there, and that's a big play on the first play of the half.
And to come back and run a drag route over the middle to do it to boot. So obviously feeling better. Wideouts Gordon and Titus Moore take and go to Joshua Raines. They'll tie him up. And in there that time for the Cougars was number 50, and that's Banks Massey, a senior linebacker, and he got in there quick and only let him get a yard.
Well, that was a zone play, and the one thing you tell your running backs in a zone play is don't get outside your blockers, and Josh got outside his blockers. And so he ends up 1-on-3, and Brookstone's going to win that every time.
Absolutely. 2nd and 9, ball along the Cougars' 30-yard line after the big run, a catch and run by Blaine Jones. This time they'll send wideouts to both sides. They'll go slots to either side. Single setback, take. Dalton Cox, and he's got Titus Moore out there in the flat all day. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, I believe. Let's check it and see. Yes, he is. And it's a 30-yard pass from Dalton Cox to Titus Moore. And that was just a getting in the right position, and he knew he had the man out in the flat and let him get to his athletic ability.
That's right. You're exactly right. Get the ball to your athlete and let him make a play. They're giving him a lot of cushion. They can throw the ball in front of their corner all night long.
So at 30-yard completion, and the extra point will come. Snap, low, but going to get it down and up. And the kick is good. Timeout on the field. Vikings lead it by a score of 19-13 with 10:43 to go in the third. We will be back.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
And welcome back to FPD. Andre Parrish. Last score we had, Central led Howard 22-14. Stratford was up 28-0, I believe was the score we had. And Warner Robins and Peach County, this was a while back. Peach County leads at 17-13. And that's probably about gone to the half. Here's a short kick, and Brookstone's going to get a good return, very close to similar to what FPD got in their opening kickoff. And a little bit shorter, but they're going to still make it out to the 40-yard line. You can't complain about that if you're with your return man there, Coach.
No, and I'm not sure Coach Moore was real happy with the placement of that. But 23 is cheating over here, so if FPD scores again, you might see a different kick.
Edmonds will be to that far side. They're going to give it to Clark Smith, and he's going to get on the corner, and they're going to knock him out. Let's see if he picks up about 4. I don't think he got quite 5 before they knocked him out on that far side, and they're going to mark him at the 44. Go with that jet sweep again as they've gone all night, kind of been their bread and butter play up to the 44. 2nd and 6 for the Cougars.
Ken Garvin's got to find a way to get his secondary to run support tougher on the corner.
Taking a little busted play, and the quarterback's going to keep it, and FPD's going to read it, and they're going to push him back. And there's a whole host of Vikings on him that time. And just really a busted play. He busted back into his wing man. He thought he was going to come a little further inside, and he ran right into him.
Yeah, that's the thing about the counter. You get your placement has to be exact. Your handoff has to be in exactly the right place at the right time. And they did not do that time, and FPD was able to take advantage. Big play.
Not for sure, though, that you couldn't give a little credit to that front 3 for FPD because somebody pushed a guard and a tackle back on that backside and caused them running back to move. 3rd down from the 44. Got to get to the 50 to get a new set of downs. Take, and they're going to give it to jet sweep again this time, and FPD's going to read it, and that time it went to Chris Edmonds. And the Vikings read it very well, and he's going to be short of the first down by about a yard. It's going to bring up 4th and a yard, trailing by 7 with 8:51 to go here in the 3rd.
They're going to go for it. He's already given the play to his quarterback. I would not be surprised to see him go with a long count here.
Josh Fernicola checks out. Blanchard comes in, methodical on his play calling. And he's going to eat up that play clock. Now they'll go in a different formation, take, and they are going to leave it to Hill, and Hill's going to have a first down and more. And they went off the wing T formation that time, broke it up. Coach kind of went with an unbalanced backfield. May have caught the linebacker sleeping a little bit.
I think so, and the tackle made a really good block on the FPD defensive tackle and took him down. That was just a simple belly play. They just ran it out of a different set, and it caught FPD by surprise.
Actually used their slot almost as a wide tackle on that play, and that got him the 2nd level block he needed to break him. So Edmonds will go to the far side. They'll go back to the wings. They'll go Smith, Hill, and Brown. Take and give to Smith. Step inside to the 30, and they'll push him back for about a 3.5-yard gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. Going to have to get to that 23, 22.5 to pick up a new set of downs.
The thing that Brookstone, though, has, they know they're going for it on 4th down. So 10 yards, 2.5 yards of play, they're good as gold.
Blanchard gets the call from Coach Harrison. And they come inside. I want to thank the folks over at Brookstone and Columbus viewing us tonight. Glad to have you with us if you didn't make the trip. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We certainly are having a lot of fun bringing you this Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week. Go with Hill. Off tackle and got room to run. He cut it back inside. He's got one man to beat, and he won't catch him. And it's going to be a 30-yard touchdown run, his third of the night for Richard Hill. No flags. And I'll tell you what, there was nobody in that zone once he stepped outside the tackle.
No, I don't know who lined up incorrectly or moved incorrectly, but they left a huge hole, and Hill made a great cut to get the rest of FPD's defense out of position, and he just kind of jogged in the end zone. That's 2 quick scores to start the second half.
Well, the offenses continue to thrive methodically, as they say. Extra point coming. Kick is up, and the kick is good. We are all knotted up at 20 apiece. You're listening to the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on DSBN Sports. We'll take a timeout. We will be back.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Ready. And welcome back to FPD on the Stoner's Pizza opening night of Football Friday night here on the network. Glad to have you with us. Want to give a tip to the hat to folks watching in at Stoner's Pizza, and of course, as well as Texas Border Grill tonight, and all the folks on Facebook and YouTube and every place else we are live. I am Russell Deese. I am live at the stadium here with Rennie Atkinson, and Rennie, good-looking drive by Brookstone. They came out and answered.
They needed to answer, and they did quickly. That's something they really didn't do in the first half, was move the ball down the field quickly. But you're talking about a three-minute drive, and they took it down and had some big plays. Really nice run by the fullback to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, Mr. Hill's third of the night, and he's trying to vie for the player of the game here on DSBN's broadcast tonight. So the Vikings come out. They open the second half with a 51-yard drive. Hey, Brookstone answers right back with a 60-yarder. So they'll kick it away, and Clark Smith will do the honors. Titus Moore will be deep, and they will see if they'll kick it to him. And they will, and he'll take it along the 4-yard line. Got a seam, and they better close it quick, and they got a man that finally got it, and that was Clark Smith, the man that kicked it off. But another great return out to the 35-yard line. Titus a little slow getting back, and I think that's out of frustration because he saw the opening there and let a guy come in and shoestring.
Yeah, he had the end zone on his mind because there was a hole there, but that was a really nice tackle by Smith.
Not too shabby when your kicker can do that.
Yeah. But their kicker's a football player.
That's right. That's right. So Dalton Cox will go with an eye. Gordon and Titus Moore will be your wideouts. Joshua Raines will dot it. Take and go to Joshua Raines. Steps in. Got away from one tackle. 40-45. Goes to the 50. Ran over a man. Rolls on into the 46-yard line of the Cougars. And he had a man hanging on to him that time for the Cougars. And it was number 26, Joel Brown, the senior.
That was a nice run by Josh. Good cut. And then probably could have gotten a little more effort out of the wide out with the downfield block, but then Josh just kind of ran over the DB.
Hit that hole awful quick that time.
Yeah.
So Gordon will come to this side. Titus Moore will go split to the far side. Cox, going to leave it with the fullback. He's going to have a little bit of room. He's going to pick up about 7 big yards and roll into about the 41. We'll give you 6.5, but a good run that time by the fullback, Griffin Brown.
Griffin, pound for pound, is as strong as any player on this football team. He plays with a lot of heart, and he's tough to bring down because he's built like a bowling ball.
You don't see it a whole lot anymore, but I'll tell you, my favorite players on a football team have always been a tight end and a fullback.
Yeah.
You got some talent there. You can go a long way. Throws it out, and a great grab by Titus Moore, and he's going to fall into the 32-yard line, and that's going to be a first down as he'll pick up 9 big yards and get out of bounds, and the Vikings will have a new set of downs. Number 15 that time on the tackle, and it was Josh Pernicola. We've called his name quite a lot on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
Yeah. The Brookstone secondary is giving those wide receivers a lot of cushion because I think they're aware that the wide receivers can run by them. They ran by the defensive backs of Central last week 2 or 3 times.
They'll go Gordon out wide with Titus Moore in a slot. Josh Raines late getting the handoff, but still a good run as he picked up close to 4 on that play. He'll break the plane of the 30, and let's see if they'll give him. Now they're going to give him down on the 30. Thought he might have fell into the 29. Come on, ref, give it to him.
That was a slow developing play.
I'm
not sure the timing
almost
was
like
correct.
A stretch play.
Yeah.
And I know that technically that's probably what it wasn't, but it kind of looked like the old stretch play. Take and look. Dalton Cott's going to fire. Got Titus Moore along the 20, going to go into the 18-19, fall into the 16-yard line. Let's see where they'll mark him. Will they give him the 16? They will, and they should have. That was a great effort by him to reach for an extra yard or 2 on that play.
Same play that they got the first down on the last time, and Brookstone seems to be content to give that cushion and let FPD complete those passes.
Gordon will split out wide this time. Titus Moore will catch his breath. Take, and he might have bobbled, and Gordon's out there, and he gets those big paws around it along the 10-yard line, falls into the 8-yard line, and he's going to be about 3 yards short, make it 2 yards short of the first down as he'll fall into the 9. Got to get to the 6, and so we'll call it 7 then, 2nd and 3.
Same type play to the other side, just a quick out, get the ball to the receiver. DB's giving him a lot of cushion.
Robert Johnson checks out. Titus Moore back in the game. Joshua Raines dots the I. They'll go to Raines. 10-5, ran over a man, gets inside the 4.
That was a really nice run. That was a lot on Josh just by himself.
Absolutely, that was because he took the first impact and he didn't go down. Ben Sloan, and he's just driving his legs and leaning forward. And sometimes you can't teach that. It's just a good instinct by a running back, and he seemed to have it on that play.
Josh is also a really determined individual, too. He's going to run as hard as he can run.
Gordon and Moore, your splits. Cox under center on a 1st and goal at the 4. Jump offside, and we'll go half the distance, and that was number 70 that time for Brookstone that ran off sides, and that was Pepper Miller. Pepper, a junior defensive tackle.
And that's a good strategy that Coach Moore uses. A lot of people use that long count on 3rd and 4, but the other team's really expecting it then. They're not really expecting it on 1st and goal.
Right. So they'll go Gordon split to this side, Titus Moore to the far side this time. But now they got 2.5 yards to go for get it to Paybird. And the ball's going to get on the ground, and let's see who's going to pick it up. And Brookstone's going to turn them away on a turnover, and we'll see who picked it up. And Cox fumbled it right there on a big turnover.
And that is huge because now you got advantage Brookstone, in our little tennis match back and forth.
And I believe that was Ben Sloan that got on it, the junior defensive back on that play. Bad mistake inside on a 1st and 2.5. 1st and goal at the 2.5. Vikings were knocking on the door. Now the defense got to bow its back and play field position here if they can stop Brookstone. Blanchard goes under center, takes, and let's see, he's going to trap it inside. Did they put it on the ground? They may have. And let's see. Now they're going to call him down, or are they going to get the ball to FPD? Nope, they're going to call him down. Ball out. Did he reach the 5? He may have got the depending on how inflated that football is, the nose may have got to the 5. So no gain. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
I think he did bobble the snap there and was able to get back on it.
Blanchard up to the line. Takes, and he's going to jet sweep to Clark Smith, and he's going to get outside, and he may have enough for a first down, and the ball pops out of bounds, obviously late on the play. No fumble, really. And let's see, they get a first down. I believe they did. They may be short. Nope, they got it. So they get out of the shadow of the end zone after the turnover. And they have a new set of downs. Not a lot of room to work with here, though, as the ball still sets on the 15. So, Rennie, they're not out of the woods here.
No, but FPD has got to show that they can make the big stop.
Take, and going to give it to Clark Smith again. And this time he's only going to pick up 1. And it's going to be 2nd and 9. The problem you run into sometimes with this wing T now as we go to the 2:32 of the third is your defense getting a little tired from the repetitiveness of trying to stop that counter action.
And that is true. And again, FPD's got a lot of guys who go both ways. And so they might start showing some fatigue.
Blanchard shows up to the line. Take, and they'll go out of that split backfield again this time, and I believe this is Hill that's going to get close, and he's going to get close to picking up about 7 yards. Might just be a little short of the first down, and I believe he is, and that was Richard Hill again on the carry, and he's been their workhorse tonight. 3 touchdowns already on the night for that young man. FPD drove it right down the field and turned it over on a 1st and goal from the 2.5-yard line.
That play kind of amazed me because he had a really big hole to run through.
3rd down and really less than a yard. This is a big set of downs for both of these teams here. Take, and going to give it to Richard Hill. He's got a first down. He's got more than a first down. He's going to drive out to the 34-yard line before he's brought down by the Vikings on the play. And number 20 in there on the tackle for the Vikings, and that was Blake Jones on the stop, but it gives them a first down at the 34-yard line.
And I'm going to tell you, you don't bring this Hill guy down with arms. You got to get a solid lick on him. He ran through 2 or 3 arm tackles that time.
Yeah, that is interesting. You're going to have to wrap up on him. And really not that big of a kid, but he's just a hard, strong runner.
Yeah.
Well-balanced guy. Taken, they go to Hill again. Vikings stepped in and defended it well. And that was a good defensive play there, Rennie. They really got some guys upfield that time, and that's what you got to do to disrupt that counter play.
Yeah.
2nd down, we're going to call it 10. They'll show 9 on the field, but I don't believe it.
They've run up the middle 2 or 3 times. So if I was FPD, I would be looking for the sweep.
And here it comes. And FPD reads it perfect and stops him after about a half-yard gain. And going to be 2nd and 8. And Coach Harrison was not happy on Brookside over there because I think somebody missed a block on that pull.
Yeah, and he's quite upset. This is huge.
Good penetration, though, by the Vikings, and it looks like the quarter is going to come to a close. We're all knotted up at George S. Johnson Stadium at Austin Childers Field. It's a Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week. FPD 20, Brookstone 20. We'll come back. We'll go to the 4th quarter. We'll be back.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Ready when you are. Thank you. And welcome back. We get ready to start this fourth quarter of play. And the Cougars are looking at a third down, long 7, maybe 8. Ball rests along the 37-yard line, 36-yard line. Russell Deese, Rennie Atkinson, glad to have you with us here as we kick off our Stoner's Pizza coverage of the Gridiron Game of the Week each and every Friday. And a big third down coming here. I'll go to Rennie after this. They'll stay in that wing. Go in motion, and this time they'll go to Edmonds, and he'll pick up 2. And the Vikings stayed at home that time on the outside coverage and turned him back in, and that's what they wanted to do, Coach.
And it's going to be interesting here. Well, it looks like, no, I believe they're actually going to punt.
Well, this can always be interesting when you haven't done this throughout the game and now you're going to.
Yeah.
While we've got a quick timeout here, I do want to once again thank all of our sponsors here tonight. Stoner's Pizza, U Parker Musellum, Texas Border Grill, Kudzu Seafood, BT Media Productions, Middle Georgia State University, Bill Hard Music, Cherokee Brick and Tile, and, of course, the Macon Touchdown Club. Don't forget, the Macon Touchdown Club kicks it off Monday night, September 11th, with 4-time Super Bowl champion of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Macon native J.T. Thomas. That's Monday night, September the 11th. Good punt. They got it away, caught it along the 28, and they tripped him up along the 30-yard line. So they got a good kick away, Rennie, and they got good coverage on it.
But after seeing that snap, I think I understand why they don't punt. I mean, the punter made a great play on the snap. If FPD had had the block on, they may very well have blocked that punt.
Want to ask you to join us again each and every Thursday night. We do a little college football talk. We've got a pick'em contest, and we got some great prizes to give away. Our game this week is Alabama and Florida State, and we had a bunch of callers at Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road last night. And we're going to have a good time each and every Thursday night. I invite you to come out and join us. Going to throw out here in the flats, and it's going to be great coverage as he went to number 3, and that was Harrison Alds, who's been a dangerous receiver already early in this year. And number 12 came up and got it, and that was Ben Sloan for the Cougars. And he's going to have about a 5-yard loss. And, Coach, I thought that play was there. Alds has just got to get away from him.
Yeah, and that play's designed where your wide receiver's got to beat one guy. You want to get everybody blocked but one guy.
That's right.
And let that receiver have a chance to beat that one, and he couldn't do it.
Harrison Alds comes to this side in the slot. Gordon will come to this side. Titus Moore will go to the far side. Take and look. Cox got time. Now they come on him. Now they got a little pressure on him. Now he throws it in the flats, and let's see, incomplete, as he had some help that time as Titus Moore came back to give his quarterback some help, and he just was kind of running for his life back there, but it was a good decision to get rid of the football.
Very good decision.
As we talked about earlier, you got to make that right decision, and he did.
Yeah, he threw it where either Titus was going to catch it or it was going to go out of bounds.
Exactly.
And there was not going to be any question about grounding. Be interesting call here. 3rd and long. Wouldn't be surprised to see Brookstone bring a linebacker or two to try to put pressure, because if they give him time, he's going to find his receivers.
3rd and 15. This is a big play for the Vikings at 10:01, and the clock starts. And the ball's going to get away from Cox, and he's going to have to make a throw, and he got a man down there on the 36-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but gets him some breathing room, and he turned a potential disaster into something positive, and boy, oh boy, was that close.
That was a very athletic play on both their parts. Harrison made the really good catch, And let's see what Greg's going to do.
Dalton Cox made that play happen, but Harrison Alls came back and helped his quarterback.
He did. And for a young guy, that's a really good play.
Nothing wrong with having a little football intelligence on the field at a young age.
That's true. This is going to be a huge play here.
9:33 to go in the quarter, 9:33 to go in the game. We're knotted up 20 apiece. 4th down for the Vikes. Cox gonna look, got him at the flat, almost picked it. They almost picked it. Trying to go to Titus Moore out here along the 41, 42, and number 12 came up and read it the whole way, and that was Ben Sloan, and he almost took it to the house if he could have caught it.
And he played it. He was playing that out route the whole time. He jumped it as soon as Titus – he was waiting on Titus to make the turn.
That was a great read that time.
It was, and I probably might have called the little wheel route up the sideline instead.
Or give and go.
Because you know that guy's – I mean, he's already been burned a lot, and he made a good play then. Now we'll see how the Viking defense does.
A little bit of back against the wall. They're going to go to Hill. He's going to step inside. And we get an early whistle. He was down. He came down pretty quick. Ball was on the 35-yard line on a 4th down play. Brookstone is taking over rather on the 36. They got a yard that time from Hill, who's been their go-to guy tonight. Might as well ride the guy that brought you.
Haven't run the counter since they had the misfire earlier in the quarter where the quarterback and the wingback ran into each other. So they might look for the counter.
Under center goes Blanchard. They go to the wing. They break out of that T formation. Go to Hill again, and he's going to get away a little bit, but his knee's going to touch down. He's only going to pick up 2. Now another key play here for both of these teams. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Got to get to the 26.5 to pick up a new set of downs. And it's a long 7 here. What do you do, Coach?
I run the ball. The counter play's a good play. Jet sweep's been good to them. I believe I would go with the jet.
I think they've got to look at this as a scoring opportunity in this game. They don't probably want to stand up and throw it here. Now they'll switch out of that, and they'll go Clark Smith. He tries to get outside, and a great read that time on the defensive side of the ball by number 21, Rob Cunningham, just a junior. He came up and wrapped him up and waited for help, and that was a good read and held him to no yardage gained on it. And now they look at a 4th down and about 4.
There's no doubt what they're going to do here. They're going to go. If I'm FPD, I'm looking first for the long count, but I'm also looking for that counter.
4th and 4. This would be a long kick from here. We hadn't seen their kicker kick it like this tonight. And they're going to call time. So on 4th down and 4, they're going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. 7:08 to go in the game. All knotted up at 20 apiece. It's the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on ESPNSports.com. We shall return.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma to what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue.
Give you a quick scoring update as we come back to Austin Childers Field. Peach County leads Warner Robins 20-14. Stratford rolled over Landmark tonight, 49-6. 4th down and 4. Ball along the 30. Cougars bring it up to the line. Blanchard under center. Tate going to leave it with Hill. Hill's going to bounce outside. He's got the corner, 25-20. 15-14, they drag him down, and a new set of downs for the Cougars. And, Coach, a little bit of that was on his own because he bounced it outside and really wasn't supposed to on the design play, but heads up running.
Well, and Brookstone decided he's our stud. That's the guy we're going to give it to, and he came through for him, and he's a tough runner.
They're going to move the ball down to almost the 13-yard line. We'll call it the 13. Nose in closer to the outside of that marker. 6:49 to go. A huge drive here for Brookstone after they stopped FPD on the 4th down conversion. Bring it up to the line. Blanchard under center. Go in the wing. Hill, Smith, and Brown. Go to Hill again, and they'll step in a big tackle that time by number 66 for the Vikings.
I think I was 56.
56,
Russell.
excuse me. Wesley Wilson, the junior lineman.
Wesley looks like he's got may have rolled his ankle a little bit on that play.
He made a big play. He's a good-sized kid, too.
Yeah, he's a really big kid. He's about 6'5", 6'6", 290.
Stratford final is 49-13. So the Eagles win it in fashion against Landmark Christian, which was a little bit anticipated what would happen over there tonight. Go again, this time to Clark Smith. He gets inside the 13-yard line, so 3rd down, and we're going to call it 9. Did he get past the line of scrimmage? I don't know. 3rd and 10 on the scoreboard. The heck, we'll go with it. Big set of downs here, Rennie.
Yep. He's got I'll be surprised if they don't either go with the counter or give it to Hill, because Hill's been he's been their guy.
If you're Brookstone and on the road, you got to get points out of this drive. You got to do it. Stay in that wing, send the man in motion, and they'll go to Clark Smith. He'll step inside the 10, step inside the 5. He's going to get into the end zone or very, very close. Are they going to mark him right on the goal line? My goodness. And it is going to be 1st down and goal. And I'm telling you, if the nose of that football is a 1/4 inch from that goal line, that's all it is.
I know. He's in there really close.
And they're going to back it up a little bit now to about the half-yard line.
But he did most of that on his own. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept churning and churning and churning.
1st and goal for Brookstone. 4:50, 4:49, 4:48. Tick, tick, tick. 1st and goal inside the 1.
Actually, if you're FPD, the faster Brookstone scores, the better.
Yep, let him go. Take and go to Hill. He'll have his 4th touchdown of the night. So he dives over from a half-yard out. And Richard Hill puts the Cougars on top, 26-20. So a 1-yard plunge from Richard Hill, and he's in for the 4th time tonight after a big stop by the Cougar defense on 4th down. And a 4th down conversion on their own part on the offensive line. They got a 6-point lead, and this is a big extra point coming. Kick is up. Kick is good. Timeout on the field. Cougars 27, Vikings 20. We'll be back after this timeout.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Welcome back to Austin Children's Field here at George S. Johnson Stadium on the campus of First Presbyterian Day School. It's the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week, and man, oh man, what a way to start the season. 26-20 is your score. The visiting Cougars from Brookstone have just taken the lead after a fourth down stand. Their offense got over and converted a key fourth down themselves, got it down to the 1 yard line, and Richard Hill has his fourth touchdown of the night. And the Cougars lead it 27-20, and the Vikes are going to get a shot at it with 4:32. We'll go to Rennie after this kickoff here. Clark Smith will do the honors for the Cougars. And it's going to pooch, and it's going to roll, and it's going to get in the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. All right, Rennie. Big conversion, big stop by their defense on fourth down, then a huge conversion on fourth down, and they plunge over and take the lead. Vikings got to just make a drive here.
That's right.
It's gut check time.
It is gut check time, and the line's got to block, and the receivers have to run good routes, and the quarterback's got to be on the money with his throws. I mean, it's just time where you got to execute.
It's now time for your players to make plays. Brookstone, of course, feels the same way defensively, and they're going to line it up right here, and they're going to go with a four-man front, almost a five-man front, and they're going to go to Joshua Raines, and he's going to pick up 3 yards. Somebody tripped him up, and let's see, he is slow getting up, and he's got a little bit of a limp over there. He's going to get back to the huddle, though. And that was not Joshua Raines. That was number 36 that time for the Vikings. And, I'm sorry, that was Raines. So a pickup of 4, going to bring up a 2nd and 6, 3:57, and the clock runs. Ball along the 25. Titus Moore to this near side, Gordon to the far. Raines dots the I. Cox going to go to Raines. Got a hole, 35, 38, 39-yard line. Picks up 15 yards and a new set of downs, and that's the way to get you some breathing room and relieve a little bit of that pressure on yourself.
That's right. And he, one guy tripped him up, or he may have gone, because he had a momentum and there was a hole in front of him, but one guy got his hand on that foot, and I really like the way Greg has gone back to the I. I think that's their best formation.
Cox under center. They'll stay in it. They're going to feed Raines. Raines is going to get on his horse and move, and he's going to pick up 6 more yards and go to the 45-yard line, maybe 7 to the 46, before number 60 got in there to make the tackle for the Cougars, and that was Jack Pete, your senior defensive tackle.
And they're running the football, and I think Coach Moore has decided we're going to run some clock, we're going to move the football on the ground, and then they're probably going to come out and play action and make their throw.
Time on the clock here is still in their favor at 2:50. Got to be patient here on offense. Cox going to drop straight back. Going to go to Titus Moore. Streaking down the sideline. Got him! Touchdown, Titus Moore. Gorgeous. Cox laid it in there like a goose that laid the golden egg.
And Titus ran right by Brookstone's whole secondary.
Yeah, they had over-the-top coverage, and he ran right between them. Beautiful pitch and catch. Cox just sent it 54 yards, and the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this one up.
But the key were those runs by Raines, because when he ran that play-action fake, Dalton had all night to throw the football.
Parrish with an all-important extra point. Snap, touch, kick. It is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field. We're knotted up at FPD. 27 all. We'll be back with 2:37 to go in it.
Room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Welcome back to George S. Johnson Stadium. Russell East, Rennie Atkinson with you in our kickoff of the 2017 season, and we got a good one. Brookstone and FPD have just tied it up. FPD answered with a 54-yard bomb from Cox to Titus Moore, and they'll kick it off with 2:35. Got a return going up the far side, 40, 45, 50, and they'll knock him out of bounds, maybe around. Let's see where they're going to mark it at, back at the 45-yard of Brookstone. He wanted that corner kick, but he didn't get the coverage he wanted, Coach.
Nope. The contained man on the other side over there came too far to the middle, and it left number 23 an alley up the sideline. And that is not what Greg Moore wanted. He did not want them to have this good field position.
Chris Edmonds on the return, and he has had a good night offensively as well as in the return department for Brookstone. They're going to kick it back inside to the wingman Clark Smith, and FPD is going to push him back. And one of the first ones to get him was number 56 again, Wesley Wilson, the junior lineman, off of that left side over there, right side rather. And we're going to have a timeout. We'll take one with them. 2:15 to go, 2nd and 10 coming, 27 all. We'll be back.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Welcome back to George S. Johnson Stadium. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go, and we are live here. And we want to welcome in anybody that's giving us a look in as we go. Wow, I don't know how many places we're broadcasting. On the website, on YouTube Live, and now we are on Facebook Live. So on your phone, on your laptop, pretty soon we're going to be on your Google glasses. Won't be long. Brookstone on a 2nd and 10. After giving up the big bomb to tie the game after they took the lead. And FPD is going to jump offside, I believe, here. Let's check the call. Yeah, we're going to get encroachment, and they're going to give up 5 free yards to the Cougars. And had them in 2nd and long there, Coach, 2nd and really 9. Now you shorten the field and hurt yourself a little bit defensively.
Again, Brookstone took it. That's a good opportunity to use it. People don't think about it. And if you go on the same snap count most of the time and then all of a sudden – you don't go, it's hard for those defenders to see it.
Especially with 2 minutes to go in the 4th and it's tied. Some folks are a little jumpy. Brookstone up to the line. Take and going to keep it. No, the quarterback's going to do a rollout, and he's going to throw down there, and he's got a man inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. They'll mark him out on the 19, maybe the 20. Let's check it and see who caught that ball, and that was Chris Edmonds, and he just threw it from the 45. And it's about a 40-yard completion down inside the 20. Huge play with 127 seconds to go.
That was a huge play, and that was just a basic waggle pass, and he hits the corner route. And I'm sure all week they work against that one route because when you play a wing T team, you see that route over and over and over again.
Really, defensive back, he's one stride away. I mean, he was almost there on his coverage. Brookstone now go to heel. 20, 15, maybe to 16 before they'll knock him down. Titus Moore, one of them on the play there, along with number 36, Joshua Raines. Pick up a 4 on the play. Ball rested at the 16, maybe the 15 and a half. Clock runs with 1:42, 1:41.
Brookstone's not going to be in any hurry. They're going to try to score, but they're going to try to milk the clock also.
Well, they got to be careful here now, spending too much on the sideline. You don't want to delay a game if you're Brookstone here. Blanchard up to the line. Hill, Clark, and Brown. Tay going to give it to Brown. He's going to try to get outside. FPD's going to read it. They're going to push him back in a big defensive play by the Vikings to stop him from gaining any yardage or very little at all. Will he get to the 15? He may have got 3/4 of a yard, and that's a great play by that weak side over there for the Vikings. All right, we've got a timeout. We'll take it with him. 1:07 to go, 27 all. 3rd and 5 coming up at the 15 for the Cougars. We'll be back.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Got an update from across town at the Ed DeForest Sports Complex in the 3rd quarter. Central 30, Howard 27. And that's got to be late in the 3rd by now. Stratford rolled big tonight, 49-13, I believe, was it? They'll go inside the Hill. He'll get inside the 10. He'll get into about the 8-yard line, and he's going to get a first down, and it's going to be first down and goal. And we sit at 61 seconds to go in this one, and they're going to be at the 8-yard line. Time for the Vikes to bow their back on defense, Coach.
They got to really make a tough stand here. And they've only got one timeout left, so if Brookstone gets in here, it's going to be tough for them to get down there and tie it up.
Clock runs. Brookstone methodically up to the line. 47, 46, 45. Go to Hill. Leans in. Goes to the 5. Leans into the 2. 2nd and goal with 38 seconds. And Brookstone will let the clock run. Blanchard runs over to see Coach Blair Harrison. Now under 30 seconds. 2nd and goal. Ball lays on the 2. FPD's got to make a stand on defense right now, and they got to do it now. 20 seconds, 19. Brookstone just milking it, trying to make a final drive, and we're going to get a timeout, and let's see who's going to call it. And I believe this is going to be the Vikings calling the timeout. No, it's going to be, yes, it's going to be the Vikings calling timeout. 15 seconds to go, second and goal at the 2. All tied up at 27 apiece. We'll take one quick timeout, and we'll come back and finish this one up.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
And welcome back to George S. Johnson Stadium, Austin Childress Field, here on the campus of FPD. Russell Deese, Rennie Atkinson. Well, Coach, what do we got to do here if you're on defense for FPD? You just got to make a play.
Well, when you're in this situation, you got to decide what you want to stop. And I just got to tell them you got to try to stop the big guy. If they run it outside on us, they run it outside on us. The big guy's been tough. I think he scored all their touchdowns tonight. So
he has. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns. And if he makes 5 here, they win the football game.
You're right. and that's
go to
where
Hill,
they go.
and they go to him inside, and do they stop him? They do stop him, and you got to call a timeout here, and they do. So he is really close to that goal line. Let's see where they mark him out. The referee actually picked it up inside the goal line and brought it back out. He was stopped. I'm sure he just laid the ball forward. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. We're not going to go away now. Want to thank everybody tonight that has been a part of this. I want to especially thank our sponsors, Stoner's Pizza, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, Texas Border Grill, Kudzu Seafood, BT Media Productions, Bill Harden Music, Cherokee Brick and Tile, and the Macon Touchdown Club. And we want to let everybody know we're also doing a little Facebook Live here tonight. So you can watch this game on DSPNsports.com. You can watch it on that nice 4K 96-incher you got in the man cave. Yeah. Or you can watch it on Facebook. And you can watch it on your phone, and you're all doing that, and we certainly appreciate it. I want to remind you, Thursday night, Gridiron Gab. Every Thursday night, we are there from 6:30 to 8. We're talking college football. We had a pick'em contest this week. Florida State and Alabama had over 40 folks giving the calls. Somebody's going to win about $70 worth of prizes this week. Tate going to give it inside to the big man. He's going to score, and Hill's going to have his 5th touchdown of the night with 5 seconds to go, and they lead at 33-27. Well, Coach, you said a second ago, go with the big man. He brought you here. This is what you got to do to win the football game.
And, I mean, you always go with your big gun and stick with that hot hand, and that's exactly what they did, and that was enough to get them in the end zone.
Well, Brookstone leads it with 5 ticks on the clock, 33-27. And the Vikings have got to now, well, quite frankly, they got to have a miracle.
Yeah, because on the kickoff, I would imagine Brookstone's just going to kick it on the ground. You just try to cover it, and then you got one play.
Well, it's been an interesting night. The last we had on scores will give you, I believe that was a 49-13 Stratford win was the final in their game. Peach County was up on Warner Robins. That's been a while ago, but they were up 20-14. You know that's a hard-hitting football game down there. Central and Howard were at 30-27 in the third. We'll look for an update on that one sometime soon. Don't forget, we'll have a quick post-game wrap-up here. Want to remind you once again, once this game is over, we'll archive it up, and within a few minutes you can go back and watch it in its entirety again. Just log on to DSPN Sports and hit the archives at the top of the page and watch it all over again. Extra point is up and good. So Brookstone now leads 34-27. And we're going to take our final timeout as we get ready for the kickoff. You're listening to the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week on DSPN Sports. 34-27. We'll come back for the final play in this one when we return.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
And welcome back to Austin Childress Field as we are live here on the campus of FPD. Russell Deason, Rennie Atkinson. Coach, if you're an FPD fan, you got to be disappointed at this point. We've got a play to go, but from a fan standpoint, pretty entertaining football game and a hard-hitting football game, and very few penalties in this game.
Yeah, not really good game if you like defense, but if you like offense, this has been a really good football game.
Right.
And
the only comment I'll make on that one is there have been a couple of big plays, but it is kind of been grinded out football tonight by both teams.
Yeah. And so
and we're kicking it off from the 45. Coach, you noticed something on the PAT there?
Yeah, there was a roughing the kicker on FPD.
So now he's going to squib it on the ground, and the up man's going to catch it and fall on it with 3 seconds to go. So now you got to play Steve Barkowski.
That's right. You just got to throw it up and hope. That's all you can do. The thing is, they do have Maurice Gordon, who is tall, and they have run the hook and lateral
with Titus Moore maybe here.
Yeah. So it's never over till it's over, but they've definitely got a really uphill. They just need a miracle. They need a miracle play.
Want to thank everybody watching this simulcast on YouTube, our webpage, and Facebook here tonight. We would invite you to go to our YouTube page, DSBN Sports. You can just click on it from the main website or go to it now. And we'd love for you to subscribe to our page, and that means on Friday night and Thursday night, you want to watch these live telecasts, all you got to do is go to your saved page, and there we're going to be. And at 7:30 or 6:30 on Thursday night, you click it on, and we're ready to go. But right now, we go to the final play of this game. 3 seconds to go. FPD's got it on their 11-yard line with one shot here. They'll go trips to this side. Cox is going to look, and he is going to get thrown down at the 10-yard line, and that's going to do it. The Brookstone Cougars have come to Macon, Georgia, and Austin Children's Field, and they're going to walk out here with a victory over the FPD Vikings. And, Coach, I'm a little shocked at the outcome here tonight, but a hard-fought game by both of these teams, and a very entertaining ball game as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, you just got to tip your hat to Brookstone. I mean, they run a very disciplined offense. They got a philosophy. We got these 6 plays. We're just going to run them and run them and run them and run them and run them. And their guys execute them really well. And in the end, football is just execution. It doesn't matter what kind of plan you got. If your players execute it, you're going to be successful. And they executed really well. FPD's offense executed really well, but the fumble down on the goal line was the turning point in the game.
All right, your final here from FPD, 34-27. The Cougars take it. We'll take a timeout, and we'll come back and wrap it up after these messages.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Welcome back to FPD here, 34-27. The Cougars score with 33 seconds to go to take it. We had our first little Facebook Live interaction tonight. I want to give a shout-out to a few of the guys watching. BB Dog, Brett Barron, he's got the Dog Deck Live tomorrow. I want to thank Mike Owen, Shane Whittington. Guys, appreciate your comments, and spread it around to your friends. Hope you enjoyed the Facebook broadcast. We certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. Well, I've got Rennie Atkins here. Rennie, your final thoughts on this game? Of what you saw and what needs to go forward here for the Vikings?
The Vikings just need to eliminate mistakes. The offense, the only thing that really hurt the offense was the fumble down on Brookstone's goal line. Defensively, they've got to get better at controlling the edge. I mean, the run support off the edge was not very good. Even with Hill running up the middle like he was, they never would have been able to move the football like they did if they weren't able to run that sweep every now and then.
Well, it hurt them tonight, and Brookstone got the job done. Let's quickly recap the scoring. At 4 minutes to go in the first, it was a one-yard run by Richard Hill. Who knew that would lead to a big night for that young man? The extra point was no good. They led it 6-0. The Vikings answered right back with a 1-yard run from Joshua Raines with 1:02 to go. Extra point was good, and that ended the first period with the Vikings leading 7-0. 4:13 to go in the second. Richard Hill got a 15-yard run for his second touchdown of the night for the Cougars. The extra point was good, and Brookstone led it 13-7 after that 51-yard drive. But the Vikings answered right back with a 14-yard pass from Cox to Gordon, Extra point was good, and that's where we stood at half, all knotted up. Then we came out in the third, and at 10:43 mark, Cox hit Titus Moore, on a 30-yard touchdown pass. Extra point was good. Vikings up 20-13. But just like these two teams had done all night, a 60-yard drive, and it ended with a 30-yard run by Richard Hill, and the Cougars were back on the board, and we were all knotted up at 20. Brookstone came back at the 4:32 mark of the fourth on a Richard Hill on his fourth touchdown of the night. It was a 1-yard run. The extra point was good, 27-20. And then a gorgeous pass from Cox to Titus Moore, 54 yards. One of the best passes you'll see all year, I can tell you that. Hit him in stride. Extra point was good, and we were tied up. And then after a fourth down big run inside the 10-yard line to keep the drive alive, with 33 seconds to go, Richard Hill scores his 5th touchdown of the night. Extra point is good, and the Brookstone Cougars have come to FPD, and they have beaten the FPD Vikings 34-27. Our You Park 'em, You Sell 'em player of the game will be none other than Richard Hill of the Brookstone Cougars. And, Coach, I couldn't think anybody that was more deserving of it tonight.
No, he carried the load for Brookstone, and every time Brookstone needed a big play, he was the guy they gave the ball to, just like down on the goal line with the game on the line.
Coach, I want to thank you before we get out of here. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you tonight. It was a lot of fun. We appreciate all the hospitality that we get every time we come to FPD. This was a lot of fun to do, and it was a lot of fun to work with you tonight. I hope we get the opportunity to do it again.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Well, that's going to do it. We're going to thank our sponsors one more time: Stoner's Pizza, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, Texas Border Grill, Kudzu Seafood, BT Media Productions, Bill Harden Music, Cherokee Brick and Tile, the Macon Touchdown Club, and, of course, you, the fans. Don't forget, Thursday night, we'll be live at Stoner's Pizza starting at 6:30 on Forsyth Road for Gridiron Gab. And our Pick'em contest, we got some great prizes. We look forward to having you come out and talk a little high school and college football with us each and every Thursday night at Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road. Well, that's going to do it for the Stoner's Pizza Gridiron Game of the Week. We're final score once again: Brookstone 34, FPD 27. We'll see you Thursday night, everybody. Our time is up. We thank you for yours.